Hey, lovely people. Yep, it's a clip for you. Rushing this one out, actually, going to do a short one and there'll be more to come on this. So, big news 60 Minutes finally woke up. That institutionalized mainstream media brand made popular in the States. 60 Minutes Australia finally woke up and popped on down to do a YouTube, my apologies, a series on the Australian property market. Suddenly now they're all there with the facts. They've suddenly seen and suddenly declare 65% of Australian banks are based on housing property debt. Suddenly they're hearing clients are having their mortgages, their interest only mortgages converted to principal only. Yes, have a 60% increase in your monthly payment. By the way, you've also got three other homes, all investment properties that you bought near the top of the market on interest only as well. Them too. Now, this does not end well, fine people. This does not end well. And I want to say, other people have spoken about the property bubble in Harry Dent and Mike Maloney and other good commentators that do some great quality content. But the problem sometimes with folks is they have no real sense of the timing. And this is because they lack a slight conspiratorial strain to their thinking, which I have no such constraints about. You see, we need a synchronized collapse. They've all been too early. They've all been way too early. In fact, Australia has essentially gone 25 years without a recession. In other words, it's been creating money, selling bits out of the ground to China, selling bits out of the ground to money, create some more money, pump up a loan, pump up the football. Off we go, let's play. And they largely skipped relatively lightly through the great financial crisis, as it was called. It's a depression, by the way. I'm not a big fan of this GFC. Call it a depression, that's what it was. In history, in economic history, with the benefit of time having passed, they will recognize it for what it was, full-scale bang failure. And that QE is actually a policy to hide the fact that it's a depression by devaluing money so that the true loss of growth that should have occurred, which should have been 2 years of negative. I think the UK actually had one quarter that they did 0.1 that prevented the stat of being at 2 years of negative quarter growth. So QE was there to hide this, to throw some cash on the fire with this house with no roof, just to create a small smidgen of a fireball of heat so that they could get a 0.1. The tricks we play. I must swig coffee. I'm going to be running down to do my theory weekend with my top peeps in our lovely location. But anyway, so I'll be doing a lot more on this. But the key thing is, this is the lack of a conspiratorial thinking sees that me feel that they missed the timing, and that we only started really heating up our Australia New Zealand coverage. We started plotting the real method trading on charts, the inverted HVFs on Australian banks. In other words, now is now the time. Now is now the pullback. Now is the recognition of the facts. Things go wrong for a long time. It's kind of like turning an oil tanker around in open sea. But the actual event to take place is laborious and lengthy. Even though it can't be postponed and escaped from, you need all the dominoes to be allowed to start falling, all the shoes to start dropping. And you've also got to remember that there is a solution. Your control structure that is like an inner ring that runs through China, UK, America, insider, secret society, cartel are all coordinated. The top in the Chinese Communist Party go to school kids go to school in Switzerland, and they pop past Oxford or Cambridge for some university study, and they are marked long before most people realize. Just like Trump isn't going to save you from this great recession, great depression to come, the one we never fully took in 2008 or 9. His card was marked when the Rockefellers bailed him out of his casinos and kept extending his credit as chairman of Chase Manhattan Bank. He was always going to have to pay back and play a role, and he's playing it now. So you got to realize this, you need to be more conspiratorial. It's not by accident that the UK property market, synchronised now, is having its second rollover, while Australia is having really only its proper first after pausing in the 2008 or 9 crisis. It's not by accident that we had blow-off run-up in houses in San Francisco, with some average homes going up $200,000 each. Imagine that. Oh, I'll just put the house on the market. Oh, we had it on last month. Well, I think we can put another 200K on it this month. That is classic in a charting context, and this is the great value of what we do at the Reset Sniper, the Market Sniper, and the Crypto Sniper, is we are traders and chartists first. And I know the other guys, they like a chart or two, but that's for illustrating data. They don't have method for trading. You've got to get timing right. You can stand saying, like some of them that are purveyors of gold, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold the whole way down, while we were shorting it after the massive overrun to 1900. And they're just too early. They may one day be right, but because they sell gold, they're forced to always call the bottom. And this is what some of them do, because they're in the point of the business of demographics, and eventually they know that demographics will play out. They have to keep calling the Australian bubble over. You need to wait till the signs are showing in the charts, in the banks, in the economic numbers, because they'll keep the music playing as the Titanic is sinking for quite a long time. And actually sinking a big boat like that, even though it's inevitable and it's mortally wounded, still can take some time. And this is what's happening. Anyway, this is going to be a precursor to an all-round video, which I believe are great reset. This is the foreplay event. You need the real estate. Let's try that word again. Is that the coffee? What did my good lady do? Put some whiskey in there. It's the real estate shoe that is one of the most critical one to drop, for everyone to get shaken out of their homes, and for the bankers to collect and to buy at the bottom, and their hedge fund friends to become real estate landlords. Remember my video also on Vitalik Buterin and the notion of we don't need to be owners of property. We can all just be the Airbnb. It's so cool. You're just a company of things that rent stuff everywhere. This is all about the model, and I'm going to talk about smart as well. In other words, anything that's sold to you as smart, smartphone, smart grid for your electricity means surveillance, my friends. Smart, the S is for surveillance. In fact, I anagrammed the whole world, and I've lost it last night. We were discussing the M for monitoring. The A for annuitizing income out of you. You used to buy Microsoft Office and own it. Now you rent it. The whole game is turning you into a R, rental extraction game. SMAR. That's right. What was the T for, Francis? I'll have to come back at you. But anything that sold you smart is part of their control structure game, and that is the way they play. They want your big data. They want your data for when you are switching your electricity, your kettle on. They want to know how many times and for how long. That's your smart grid. Your smartphone is for what you're saying, what you're talking about, so that they can hear us sussing them out right now while we record this clip. And that is the game, and that is the game. I'm sorry. And if you don't have that conspiratorial element and see it all tying in together, you see it as just random events. Oh, Australia's property market's turning over, and at the same time, roughly, London's getting a bit peaky and the prices are coming off. Isn't it ironic? Oh, and down in San Francisco, they've just had a blow-off highs, and now people aren't getting mortgages and the banks are pulling it in there. Wow, it seems like now we have our economies all perfectly synchronized for collapses. How coincidental, or is it? Or is it? Think about it, folks. This is why the guys are right with their facts and wrong with their timing. They're right with their facts and wrong with the timing. And the timing is coming. The timing is coming. It's time to dust off your Reset Sniper folder. How are you set for when the next bank bailouts are? How's your reset plan? In our community, we have Reset Sniper coming up. And all our financial prepper planning will be discussed, including which banks do you have? Do you have enough? How about passports, where you live? How they're going to come and shake you down? How does everybody get squeezed? Even those that have no debt when the rest of the game is torn down. Oh, we need to introduce this tax, that tax. How are you set? how are you set for the great reset that could, in fact, be beginning with the biggest shoe dropping in the real estate markets right now? Wow. Okay, more of this to come. Speak to you later. Bye.